It's important for young people to have role models, especially African-American kids who too often perceive success as a white preserve. Well, Mike Leonard has found a man with a camera who's trying to correct that by showing young black Americans a simple truth about themselves.
In his search for role models, Bruce Caines has ignored those famous professional athletes to aim instead for more realistic models. Two community activists, a lobbyist and his family, a young boy proud of his first summer job. Ty Wilson is an illustrator and a good example of exactly what Bruce Caines is trying to portray.
I think people aspire to the images that they see. I know for myself, when I was a kid, and my mother would take me to an art gallery, and I'd point up and say, well, who did that? Picasso, Matisse, Braque, or somebody. None of those people were black.
Young children peek timidly over a wall of doubt, scanning the horizon for someone like them who has made it. Someone like Benilde Little, an editor at Essence magazine, and another Bruce Caines subject.
And I think if they see that we've come from, the same kind of places or similar places, then it's not so hard.
That's the optimistic dream. And this is the nightmare. A gang-infested, drugged-out world where any hope for legitimate accomplishment grows dimmer by the day.
So how can one person make a difference? Well, the cynics would say that one person can't, that a dreamer like Bruce Caines is simply wasting his time.
I'd say that they were sadly mistaken, because there are a lot of people out there that have a lot of pride in themselves. A lot of people that I see that just need to be reminded of their self-worth.
When Bruce Caines heard about Neil Tyson, the astrophysicist now at Princeton University, he at once realized that here was a man who could greatly influence any African-American child. Neil Tyson humbly agreed in principle.
But it's also important in terms of role models, in my opinion, that the general white community sees blacks in roles other than basketball players. Because when I walk down the street, a person thinks that I'm either a basketball player, I'm not even that tall, I'm 6 feet tall, okay, I'm not 7 feet tall, that I'm either an athlete or that I might even mug them on the street. These are the assumptions, and I meet this every day.
Hearing that kind of testimony only bolsters Bruce Caines' belief that a book like his is sorely needed. Then he goes to see a publisher and gets shot down by statements like,
well, yeah, but I don't know, is it going to sell? Do black people have enough money to buy this book?
Money is indeed a factor, especially for a photographer who has placed all of his on the line to see this project through.
I put myself in a really precarious financial position where I'm basically, like, the water is here, and I'm constantly trying to get my mouth up so I can get some air.
Or at least some inspiration.
Yeah, good.
From those everyday people working hard to make a mark worth duplicating.
Maybe if they see somebody out here willing to get dirty and earn an honest buck, maybe I can help, influence one child.
One child? That surely doesn't sound like much.
A seed. And small seeds make big trees.
That's nice.
For today, Mike Leonard, NBC News, New York.
That's good.
And we're back in a moment with more on Today right after this.